Welcome to Sports World. Thank you for joining us today. Obviously, you're just weeks away from fight night. How are you feeling physically and mentally at this stage of camp?
Everything's on track. Everything's on track. There's a process. There's a schedule that you have to stick by week. The intensity ramps up. The volume of training ramps up. Right now, we're kind of just getting into the training camp. My weight's good. My energy levels are good. So yeah, I'm going to be ready to go.
Now, we know you can't give away too much, but what's been the biggest adjustment in this camp compared to your previous fights?
The camp hasn't actually officially started yet, but when it does, this is the biggest fight of my career, to be completely honest. So that will affect how I train, the mindset, the intensity, the dedication, the hard work. I think I'm just going to put that little bit more into everything I'm doing. Not that I don't in other camps, but this is the most important fight of my career. So there will be no stone unturned.
Millions of people around the world will watch this fight. Do you relish the big stage, or is it just another day at the office for you?
I don't look at it as a big stage or, as a huge occasion, because then you can get caught up in, the hype. You can get caught up in the things that aren't important. What's important is that you go out there and do your job, that you prepare, that you are responsible with your health, your sleep, your training, your preparation, and on the night you do your job. If you focus on the millions of people watching and the money and the football stadiums and the news articles and the photo shoots, if you focus too much on that, it becomes a distraction and it can affect your performance. I'm very experienced in this game. And I think my experience it gives me a big edge over Conor. He is not experienced in this. This is his first time headlining a massive fight like this. And I think it's going to show.
You mentioned the bright lights and the glamorous side of boxing and everything that comes with that. Obviously, boxing is brutal, but it is also a business. How do you balance the fighter mentality with the commercial side of the sport?
Boxing is most definitely a business. And it's important that you have people that are looking out for your best interests when it comes to the business side, because it's a ruthless sport. In the ring and just as much outside of the ring, people are trying to make a quick buck off of you at each and every step, each and every opportunity they can. Promoters, managers, teammates. You have to have everybody in line, and you have to have a team around you that you trust and that can support you. And you have to know what is a good deal and what isn't. And you have to know how to read a contract. You have to have a lawyer and an accountant and everything else that comes with that, which a lot of fighters don't. And I didn't at the beginning of my career. I just saw a number and I was like, yeah, that's a good number. I'll fight for that. Now, no. Now I want to know every single angle. I want to know everything that's going on. I want to know where all the money's coming from, because if you don't know, people take. And that money should be going to you. You are the guy getting in the ring. It all comes with experience.
Now, your style and approach is quite unique in boxing. How much of your personality is shaped by the sport, and how much of it is just who you are?
I would say that boxing has definitely shaped and affected and molded who I am as a man and as a person. I'm not an emotional human being, and I think boxing has done that to me. I'm not going to say I'm not friendly, but, I'm very comfortable being alone. I don't hang around with lots of people. I don't have an entourage. I keep my circle small. I'm used to being independent. I'm used to getting things done by myself. And I think boxing has taught me that. You know, it's taken a long time for me to kind of become comfortable with who I am as a person, and separate me being a man from me being a fighter. That took time. You know, I used to not be able to do interviews like this. I used to not want to talk to media and do interviews and take pictures. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to hurt, you know? That was the fire that was in me as a young kid. As you go through things, as you learn, as you progress, as you achieve, you know, you become more mature and you become more understanding of how life works. And now at this age, 35 years old, I can sit down and have a conversation with people, and I can talk, and I can be liked. I never used to be liked.
We've obviously spoken about the business, and we're sat here in a city with endless possibilities. Outside of the ring, how do you switch off from the intensity of fight preparation?
That's a hugely important thing to be able to do. You know, you have to be able to switch off, because otherwise you can burn out. You know, at the beginning of my career, I didn't actually have a chance to switch off. You know, I fought 9 times in 1 year, in my first year as a fighter. So there was no switching off. As you progress, you fight less and less each year. And then you have to figure out, what am I going to do in the in-between time? You have to be able to switch off, but you have to be able to switch off responsibly. A lot of guys don't. A lot of guys switch off by going out and doing drugs and getting drunk and putting on weight, eating whatever they want. You know, I don't switch off like that. I switch off in a way which is going to be beneficial to, you know, my health and my state of mind. It's a balancing act, you know, and I think over the years I've kind of perfected it.
Now, you've lived all over the world. You've trained in Vegas, Miami, now Dubai. Where do you feel you're at your best, and why?
I wouldn't say there's any particular place on the planet which, you know, enables me to be at my best. You know, you have to be able to perform, you have to be able to train, you have to be able to focus anywhere, whether it's in, you know, an amazing city like Dubai or a quiet town like Brighton. It's all about discipline. It's all about, you know, dedication wherever you are, staying away from the distractions, staying away from the things that can pull you away from the mission. Some guys can't. I've always been able to do it. You know, I've spent years of my life in Las Vegas, which is Sin City. And, you know, a lot of guys get swallowed up by that type of environment. But if you can be disciplined, then places like that are amazing places to train and to fight. You know, some of my best camps have been in Las Vegas. So really, it's just about you as a person, you know, finding out, you know, where you are comfortable and where you can, you know, do your best camps and be the best person you can be in preparation for your fights. For me, put me anywhere.
Now, a little bit of a personal angle. My father was actually at Judgment Day in 1993 and has the original program.
Wow.
From the night that your father fought Conor's father. Now, that goes down in history as one of the most amazing fights the world's ever witnessed. Does it hold any significance for you ahead of your fight in April?
I mean, this is, I'm actually shocked this is in such good condition after all these years. But seeing things like this only inspire, you know, this only reinforces the importance of what I've got to do, which is to uphold my family name and to solidify the Eubank legacy. and to make sure the Eubank name always stays on top of the Ben name in the fight game. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to even the score. They're trying to, he's trying to redeem the loss his father had against mine, Connor. He's trying to enable his father to, get it back, get his revenge, and I can't let that happen.
Now, I've read a few things that, this may be your last fight. If the evening does deliver the drama that everyone expects, do you think we'd ever see a rematch?
I believe there's a rematch clause in the contract. So, yeah, there's definitely a possibility, but I'm not, rematches and who I'm fighting next. It's just nothing, none of that's in my mind. My mind is the task at hand. I think this fight will go down as one of the most exciting fights in British boxing. The goal is to make it as exciting and as amazing as the Eubank Ben original all those years ago. And I think it can happen.
Having spoken with you this afternoon, I think I know the answer to this question. But obviously, you've been in some huge fights in your career. But where does this rank in terms of importance?
This is the biggest fight. I can't deny it. I'm going to be walking out into a crowd of 70,000 people at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. How many fighters can say they've done something like that? Every day I walk through the streets of England or Dubai or Las Vegas and people come up to me every day. I want you to get this kid, man. Knock this guy out. This is the first time that it's been like this in other countries, So it's huge, and I'm going to rise to the occasion.
It feels like you almost have a sense of duty to the sport that you love. Would that be a fair assessment?
Absolutely. I have the duty to the sport, and I have the duty to my father, and I have a duty to myself to go out there and destroy this kid.
Now, looking beyond April 26th, what's the next chapter for Chris Eubank?
I don't have an answer for you on that question, my friend. It's not in my mindset. It's not in my thought process right now, thinking about what's next. That's a big mistake that fighters make, looking beyond what they've got in front of them. I never make that mistake.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it.